Hello YouTube, I am YouTubing so much right now. I was in Ireland YouTubing every day basically, and then I did that $1,000 car. We're doing that project thing. I'm gonna be back over there in a couple days, but we're getting ready for round 5 with that $1,000 car. The S14 has to get ready for round 5, and then Drift Week, I'm trying to bring out something very special for Drift Week. We've been building in the background for almost a year now. And then this will be the backup car for Drift Week, just in case we have some problems. And then we also have a rental car I need to show you for Drift Week. We'll show you that in, I guess, 2 weeks we'll show you that thing. Yeah, so first I guess let's just show this super fast so we can go see the main thing of this episode, which is putting a body on our circle track car. So here we go. So I've been failing to really YouTube the Lone Star Drift events very well this season. And there's a bunch of reasons why, and I don't need to say it all, but it's very difficult to make those recap videos, whereas these vloggy type videos are super easy. I'll have 40 plus, sometimes 80 hours at least in those other videos, and in this, I'll just have a couple hours. So, and then this can get as many views as those. So anyways, in those other videos also have to pay cameramen and everything else. So they can cost $1,000 and cost at least 80 hours of time to make one recap video, whereas this is easy. So the S14 is a little taken apart. Mark has just been fixing some little things. I lost the last event and was super frustrated because there wasn't a good self-centering mechanism. So when I was going from 4th to 3rd, I'd hit 5th. So Mark has fixed that. And then just a bunch of little things he's been buttoning up, like putting little things on here to hold the trunk down because the trunk was popping open. But have we really had to work on too much else? Like, there's a lot of detail maintenance you do on this, but other than that, the car's been stupid reliable this season, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's just fixing all the damage you do.
You don't fix the damage.
Yeah, the whole front end's been redone, and I had to.
Oh, you did take it off.
I had to fix that bumper.
You did a good job fixing this taillight.
You also broke it several times.
Anyways, yeah, the front end does look really nicely aligned right now. Good job, Mark.
Biggest thing that
What?
didn't have to happen to this.
I've been in Ireland and stuff, guys, so I haven't even seen anything he's done lately. What'd you do?
We had to rewire this entire engine.
Oh, why?
Because
I missed that.
Yeah, so the way that somebody wired it previously, they had the cam signal was run along all the injector stuff, so it was like super noisy, getting some interference there.
Did it make any difference in power?
No, but it changed the way it doesn't surge crazy at idle anymore. It doesn't stay idling at 2 grand like it used to. Mm-hmm. We're getting better voltage readings instead of it being erratic like it was on the dyno a couple times.
Well, this car never made the horsepower we thought it would, and it always ran kind of crappy, but it's like a hammer. It always runs and always does its thing, and it's a fantastic car, so good job.
It should run a lot better. I mean, It did at the last event for you. The
tire wear has been amazing. It hasn't been overheating. The rear fan setup has worked really well. This car was plagued by overheating issues for a while, and was kind of a pain when we first had it. And then Mark sorted it out super well, and it's been amazing for a year now, Mark, at least.
Yeah.
It's been really, really good car. We're building a replica of it outside that never gets done, but it's because we always have so many things. Anyways, what we're also working on tonight, which is the main focus of this video, is the circle track car is getting a body. Let's close this door because it's so loud. What's funny about this is the NASCAR sits out there and it has a body, and I think it's ugly and I don't give it any love. So if you're not aware of what this project is, it's a little circle track car from the 90s that we bought. It's a super high compression, super cool. What's going on here, Mark?
It's missing the filter.
Why?
Because I had to put oil in it.
Oh, okay. Make sure it doesn't get dust in there.
No, it's
yeah, so it's a whatchamacallit?
358.
358 small block Chevy, super high revving, revs to 8,000 RPM. Fantastic little motor. It doesn't make a lot of power, but is super fun to drive. It is, I like how we call like 450 crank not a lot of power. But cars that don't have bodies are kind of silly looking on track. So we're about to put a body on it. And I chose this newer Camaro body. And what we're doing right now is, because these things are kind of wheelbase flexible, I guess you could say, we're going to figure out where things go, and then we have to trim stuff. We have to do lots of mounting. We have to figure out where the whole body fits on the car, mess it all around, see what it's going to have, like, whatchamacallit. The body's going to have all these little mounts that come off, that we're probably gonna have to cut all these off and then mount to the new body, such as that and everything else. The body's gonna have to like be mounted on little standoffs, if that makes sense. And then we're gonna have some stuff like we'll probably have to cut these off, and probably gonna have to move the oil cooler that Mark just built in, and some other junk. And then we're gonna have ride height problems probably, because right now the ride height doesn't really matter, and we have the front kind of jacked up because you can't tell anything about the car because it just looks like a spaghetti mess of tubes.
You also have to have the front up because of how low the motor sits.
Oh, yes.
The oil pan's really low.
But we'll figure all that out. Okay, let's start piling parts on. I forgot to point out some odd little things about these kits too, is that the bumpers come in 2 pieces and you join them up. Mount them with a bar. The bars are over here. You have to make sure all that stuff works. You mount it around the bar. You make little standoffs. We're gonna have to do that in there. Mount it up to the body. And then you vinyl wrap it to make the whole thing look continuous in one piece. Rear bumper's the same way, comes in 2 pieces. The doors are metal, I think, and they're up there somewhere with the hood. This is the roof, it comes in 1 big piece. Windshield lays in. This is the back part of the roof. Probably need to cut this out. And then it has little Lexan windows that pop in and all this stuff. All right, let's get started. Mark, are you ready?
Yeah.
Very first thing we're gonna do, I think, is to cut this, because we know that roof is not gonna lay on properly. So we're gonna cut these out, which I guess that's all supported by that. That's gonna kind of suck. This, oh no, it has this to support it too. I was gonna say we're gonna cut the supports out of that thing. Here's some of the fender mounts or hood mounts that used to be there. They're probably gonna be in the wrong place. We'll have to make new ones. So, first things first. And we are completely done. Time to go drive it. No, but we really do have no idea what we're doing. We're just kind of laying it on to kind of get a feel for it and get the proportions to see how they are. What do you think, Mark?
I think that's pretty close to where it's gonna sit, other than like the way the roof and the front end fits.
Mm-hmm.
I think the back's pretty spot on though.
We were kind of lazy and looking over here. It's closer than you would think for a lot of it. Like this lines up actually surprisingly well, and the coil little bracket thing is underneath there holding all that up, or else it would go lower.
I think the front end's gonna come forward a little bit.
Yeah. Well, no, it's gonna come forward on that side, but this side is fitting just right, actually. I centered this wheel.
I think once it's mounted though, it's gonna wanna...
I think it's gonna come
just
up, because we're gonna have a little bit of problem with the radiator and all that stuff. But I'm pretty sure this is gonna come up another inch or 2. It looks so janky sitting here. Oh, it's so hilarious. Also, I think that when you see that it's gonna, the body's probably gonna sit at least another inch lower. It's, as the roof gets mounted, it's sitting on some things right now. That's gonna come down some. This portion is gonna come down right there, and then the front's gonna come up a bit, because obviously we just have all this mocked up. Boink, it just fell.
This would be a little bit easier if all of this was fiberglass and wasn't so
Floppy.
flexible. But I like it better that it's not. Less likely for you to destroy it.
This is so weird mounting a car body like this. It looks so floppy and hilarious. Bunch of little things. So as we don't know what we're doing, but there's all these areas where everything matches up. So I'm I'm not quite sure. We'll have to go watch stuff, but there's a line there. There's a line there. This fender is probably gonna need to sit in quite a ways, which is gonna pull that in. And then if the door lines up along this line, coming over, and then touches right there, Mark.
The door's exactly where it's supposed to be.
Right. I was just gonna say this fender actually needs to come over like that, I think. That makes sense? I think we were guessing it was over there. I think it's gonna be like over here, and then you cut this whole fender. And that's gonna suck in this body to right. Hold that. Yeah, hold that right there. And I'm gonna hold this. Oh God. This is a disaster. But the wheel fitment's gonna be more like that as we go. That looks a million times better already. Before, we had it, I think, out like 3 inches too far. So it's probably gonna be nibbled in so that that's even around there, creating a much more narrow. Yes, now we're talking. That looks way better already.
Yeah, the guy told me that our track width was too wide. So like it doesn't make sense for it not to be poking out.
Yeah. So hopefully we're gonna end up like this. And as you were kind of watching us on the other side, as we lined up, we were guessing it was like that, and we were lining up over here, but then the door was way off. So that should be sucked in a bit. Oh, that looks terrible from that side. Way better this side. Wheel fitment for drifters is important. The back is just gonna be sunken in unless we space it a bunch, but I actually don't mind the sunken in look on the back a bit, because it's gonna look, oh, maybe I will. I'm not quite sure. We'll figure that out afterwards.
We also don't know exactly how it's gonna look with 285. They might be.
Oh yeah, we're putting 285s on it.
They might be a little wider. We do have 10 and a halves also. These are 9 and a half.
Yeah, I want to run the 9. Oh, I guess with the
You could
285s we could run 10 and a half. The car looks so weird sitting like this.
With a body?
No, I mean like the body laid on, it looks like a jalopy. But I think it's gonna look really cool when we're done.
Well, like I said, I think the front's a jalopy, but I think the back's pretty dead on to where it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And looks pretty right.
Well, I don't know what to say other than it's still got a lot of work to go. And some of the details like the radiator fitment could be tough. But we might just get lucky, and you might just like massage it down a little bit, like somehow, you know, get another inch or two out of the shroud, pushing it down. And then it just all fits. Obviously the oil cooler was just a temporary thing. I don't know if the video needs to be any longer than that. We're not really gonna make any more real progress.
Oh, if you are in the EFW area and you have one of those
A
body
jig?
jigs and you want to come help out, I'd appreciate it.
Bring a circle track body jig. Yeah, we really don't know what we're doing.
Nah, I think it's fine.
You're confident?
Yes. Yeah. After it's sitting it on here, it's not as bad as I thought it was going to be.
I was going to say the proportions are way better than I thought it was going to be.
Setting it just with the hood like I had it before and kind of trying to visualize it with the hood didn't make sense. But now that we like put quarters on the back and saw where the wheels are supposed to sit and realized that this needed to come back like 5 inches from where I had it sitting, makes a lot more sense.
One other quick thing. This body was absolutely not meant for this car. This body, after all the options and everything, was like $4,000. But I thought it would, because the car itself was so cheap at $7,000, I figured we could kind of pour $4,000 into finishing the car off. We have some other money into it too, but it wasn't too crazy. I thought that would be like the final, make this like a really rowdy, crazy race car. But I completely took a risk where we had no idea if this body was going to fit correctly. The 5-star place didn't even want to sell it to me. They kept discouraging me, saying like, no, you need to buy this ugly body. It'll probably work. We measured out the wheelbase. We measured out the track width. We measured out like the roof and as many measurements as we kind of could to see if it would fit. And then I kind of watched instructions on how to nibble the wheel, like, you know, cut pieces out of it to nibble it back and forth. And I was pretty confident. And they literally, I made a post about it on Instagram and they told me to take down the post even because I was asking questions. So kind of cool. It's a neat company. They're totally not catering to drifters, obviously. It's probably better for us to not buy this because we could only butcher it. But I thought it was funny that like the company didn't want us to have it up or anything. And then I guess that's it. Oh, I know. We have to go test this. We're going to go to Cam's Acres in October and go test this, but hopefully we'll go test this beforehand. But my schedule is super busy. Things that we were testing, by the way, are the caster was different side to side. The carb was when you would press the clutch pedal in on entry, the thing would turn off after we put the new carb on it. The handbrake was sucking. You would pull it and like nothing would really happen at times. And the oil cooler needs to be moved again for another time. And what other problems do we have? Anything else?
I put a sway bar on it.
Oh, he put a sway bar and also a new oil pan with a pickup in the middle because it was offset oil pan, and this one's a baffled one and everything. Cool.
Baffled road race pan.
This is the most ridiculous thing. I want to kick it and just like have it fall apart, but like also we care about the body, so we're
Plastic scratches.
yeah, we're not going to do that. Okay. I also thought this was going to be some type of fancy material. It's like super crappy plastic.
Yeah, it's like an ABS or a urethane, and then the roof is fiberglass.
Cool.
You just kind of see it.
This is how we're figuring out how to mount it, by the way. We're just watching YouTube videos of other people mount the bodies. This is very confidence inspiring.
I mean, this is the guy with the full jig. He knows what he's doing. He's got a couple of them in the back that he's built.
He's not local, is he?
I've got my
see.
spacing.
Look, it sits on top, and then you just trim it around.
Nibble it.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah, there's a better. So you just trim it around to the bottom of the window.
Cool. The one nice thing about these kits, I mean, there's a bunch of nice things, but if we screw up a piece, we can just buy a whole nother piece and replace it.